Okay. Okay. Hello everyone. How are you today?
Fine,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay. Today we will have a presentation for the subject of advanced academic grammar, yeah. And today we will have two presenter who will deliver their topic, which are the first one is non-canonical sentence. Who will be presented by Mbak Titis, and the second one is relative clauses and participle, which will be delivered by Bu Dewi. Okay, the presentation will be divided into two sessions. Yeah, each session will be one presentation and question and asking and question session. Okay, the time for each session will be 30 minutes. Is it enough? Yeah. Okay, more more than enough. Okay, okay. Without further ado, I would like to okay, please welcome Mbak Titis for the first presenter. The time is yours.
Okay. Please help me to share screen the PPT. Okay, guys, thanks for the time. I'm Titis Widiani, and today I would like to explain about non-canonical sentences. Next. So what is non-canonical sentences? Anybody knows what is it? No?
I know, but sekarang aku lupa ya.
Yeah, okay. Maybe
No, I'm not actually.
maybe some of you know about non-canonical, but some of you do not know. But actually non-canonical is a sound unfamiliar around us, but actually it is so familiar around us, and we usually use these sentences, non-canonical sentences. So let's go into the next slide. Okay, before I describe about what is non-canonical sentences, I would like you to analyze some sentences here. For the first is canonical. The example, Oliver has finished his report. Oliver is subject. Yeah, has finished. Anybody knows? What is it?
Ya, completion of work, I think.
Participle.
It is present perfect. Yeah, present perfect positive. His report is an object. Okay, next. Just click. Okay, this is the pattern. Oliver's subject has finished is perfect positive and his report is an object. So next. This is the example of non-canonical sentences. Yeah, Oliver hasn't finished his report. Oliver is subject. Hasn't finished is negative, perfect negative, and his report is an object. So everybody can differentiate what is the kind of those sentences. For
So
the
canonical
first
is positive,
right?
And non-canonical is negative.
Okay, thank you, Bunini. Canonical is positive or affirmative sentences, and non-canonical is negative sentences. For make it more understanding about non-canonical, just going to the next example. Okay, this is the example. Alexandra is coming for lunch. Next, Alexandra is subject. Is coming is continuous positive, and for lunch is adverb. Okay, next for the canonical example. Is Alexandra is coming for lunch? Okay, is coming here is continuous, but the continuous is interrogative, and Alexandra is subject, for lunch is an adverb. So what is the differences about canonical and non-canonical here? What's the kind of sentences?
I didn't see any negative sentence from those two sentences.
Okay,
But
right.
non-canonical is question.
Yeah, thank you, Bu Dewi and Bu Nining. Canonical is always positive, and non-canonical is interrogative sentences. Okay, for the next example, please. Okay, canonical. The maid stole the vase. The maid is subject, active, and the stole was active voice, and the vase is an object. How about the example of non-canonical? Okay, the vase was stolen by the maid. So the vase is subject, was stolen is passive voice, by the maid is object. So we can look clearly about the differences. Canonical is about the active voice and non-canonical is about passive voice. Get it? For this analyzing? Okay,
Yes.
next. Okay, so what is canonical clauses? Canonical clauses is actually a simple sentences that consists of affirmative clauses, and then next declarative clauses, and then next also independent or not subordinate, and then next active voice. Yeah, canonical clauses consist of affirmative. Affirmative is a positive clauses. I think everybody know about it. And what is declarative clauses? The declarative clauses is a sentences that express a statement in general, like about the opinion, about point of view, and the other. And independent or not subordinate is the word that can stand alone. And for the last is active voice. I think everybody know about it, so no need to explain it again. Okay, so the next is non-canonical. Okay, next, please. Okay, this is non-canonical clauses. What is non-canonical clauses? If canonical clauses is simple sentences, so we can say that non-canonical clauses is complicated sentences because it is consists of negative clauses, interrogative clauses, imperative clauses, and exclamative clauses. Negative clauses is sentences that is negative. Interrogative is like a question sentences. And imperative is a comment, like please come now, please go away. And the last is exclamative. Exclamative is the expression of, what is it? The express of when they want to say a strong opinion, like what a beautiful day, what a nice dress. This is the example. So next.
Sorry. This one?
Yeah, right. Okay, I think all of you more understanding about canonical and non-canonical sentences, but I'm going to give you the more complicated one. This is the sentences type. Okay, for the first is canonical sentences consist of interrogative, active, subject clef, subject relative. And non-canonical sentences consist of accusative, passive, object clef, and object relative. What is it? Okay, let's describe for the next slide. Okay, for the first is unergative and uncausative. Next book. Unergative is a verb that have an agent argument. The example is like this. The teacher shouted. Next. Next. The cat screamed. Yeah. Okay, this is the example of unergative. And for uncausative, next. Okay. Uncausative is verb that have only a same argument. The example is the glasses broke, the lighter exploded. So I got these red words. This is the verb. And look at for the black word, the teacher, the cat. It is a human, yeah. So they can do anything. And when we are going to look the subject glasses, the lighter. It is also subject, but cannot do anything. Okay. Next about the clef. What is clef? Clef is a sentences that derived from a simple sentences by dividing into two clauses. For the example is John broke the window. This is a simple sentences. So what is the correlation between clef and non-canonical? So this is the example. Okay, that if it is subject clef, it is focused. I mean, when it is canonical, it is focused on the subject clef. For example, it was John who broke the window. Okay, look at John. John here is the subject. So focus on the subject. Canonical is focus on the subject. Who broke the window? We need who. Who? Why who? Because the subject is human, John. So we use who. And next, okay, if it is the sentences that can be called non-canonical, so it is focuses on the object or object clef. For example, look at for the example here, John broke the window. So the subject is come from the object like this. It was the window. Window is an object actually, but it becomes subject that John broke. Okay, why we use that? Yeah, because the subject is can do anything. So we use that. And because it is human, they can do anything. So we use who. Okay. Am I too fast or not? No? Okay, next. Okay, and when we are going to learn about non-canonical, so we have to know about relative pronoun for making for memorizing your brain again. The relative pronoun consists of who, which, whose, whom, and that. And I don't want to explain it, but next, I just want to explain about the correlation between relative pronoun and canonical and non-canonical sentences. Okay, this is the subject relative, or it can be called by canonical sentences. This is the example. The father who left the girl punched the mother. The father is subject, who is relative pronoun, lift is verb, the girl is an object. Punch the mother, this is verb and object, but that is subject because it describes for the first sentences. Get it? No. Okay, the father is subject, who is relative pronoun, lift is verb, the girl is object. The father who left the girl. When I say the father who left the girl, it can't stand alone. Yeah, it can't stand alone, but needs punch the mother, need explanation behind, like punch the mother. So subject relative here, like I said before, that canonical can't stand alone. Next. Okay, next is object relative. Object relative is about non-canonical. The example is the girl who father left punched the mother. The girl, this is a subject, it becomes the subject, who, relative pronoun, and the father is an object. So when in the canonical, the subject is the father. But if there is changes, become non-canonical, the subject here become an object. So it's called non-canonical sentences. Okay, next. Okay, this one. For make it clear again about non-canonical sentences, I would like to point you how did you get understanding about my explanation. For the first is Bunini, can you help me? Can you analyze for the first one? Is it what kind of sentences? I mean, like negative sentences, affirmative, or what?
It is a negative sentence.
Okay, grammar isn't the greatest joy in life. It is negative. So it becomes to canonical or non-canonical?
Non-canonical.
Okay. What a nice try. Thank you, Munining.
You're welcome.
Next, Eka, Baika. Can you help me, please? For the second, what's the kind of sentences? Does tiny begin with the loss of grammar? Is it negative or okay, non-canonical? So the reason is because the sentences is question. Yeah, right. Thank you, Micah. Because the question is because the sentences is the question or interrogative. Yeah. Wow, all of you are so smart. I would like to, Habib, can you help me, please? For the third sentences here.
Should I just read the third one?
You have to analyze what is kind of sentences.
Guess that the English language is work in progress.
Is it negative sentences or positive or interrogative?
Positive, man.
Yeah, right. Positive sentences. So it becomes to canonical or non-canonical?
Canonical.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Habib. This is actually become for canonical because it is positive. But look at this. There is that is relative pronoun. Remember that I explained before. When relative pronoun, it is can say that is not the main clauses. So this is becomes non-canonical clauses. And for number 4, grammarian make no new thought, but thought make new grammar. It is, we can say positive, but there is negative. I mean, there is a negative sentences actually. There is no. So it become non-canonical sentences. And for the last is the passive voice should never be used by us. Bu Dewi, can you analyze what the kind of sentences is?
Ma, I'm not focused. I'm preparing for the next.
Okay, it is okay. It is okay. Elsa, can you help me, Elsa?
The passive voice should never be used by us. It's a non-canonical clauses because it's the sentence is passive voice.
Yeah, so it belongs to
Non-canonical.
Okay, thank you, Elsa. You are right. Next. Okay, this is the answer about the first the before slide. I mean, grammar isn't the greatest joy. This is negative, so it becomes to non-canonical, and actually it comes from positive sentences. The grammar is the greatest joy in life. And number 2, does China begin with the laws of grammar? Actually, it is non-canonical because it comes from declarative clauses. You can say declarative or affirmative or positive, it's just okay. And the third is, they say that the English language is work in progress, but actually it is not the main clauses. The main clauses here is the language is work in progress. Yeah. And number 4, grammarian make no new thought, but thought make new grammar. It comes from thought makes new grammar. Make new grammar is non-coordinate, so it belongs to canonical, and because they can and for the grammarian make no thought, but thought make new grammar. It can't stand alone, so it is non-canonical clauses. And for the last is the passive voice should never be used. It is non-canonical, yeah, because passive voice, like by Elsa's answer, this is actually come from the active voice. Next. This is the references that I got some material. Next. Wow, I'm going to the last slide. This is a question and answer session. Next.
Thank you.
Yep, this is the question and answer session. So I'm going to give the time for the moderator, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for Mbak Titis for that excellent presentation. Okay, now it's time for question and answer session, please. Who wants to ask questions to Mbak Titis? You can raise your hand. Okay, Habib.
Thank you very much for very expensive presentation. You have knowledge of the ocean. I'm very satisfied by your presentation. My simple question is, what's the role of your presentation while we are writing something? What is the role? Just simple.
What is the rule?
Yeah, role, R-O-L-E, role.
Rule when I get this material like this?
No, what is the role of the canonical? While we are writing the article or while we are writing something.
Okay.
You get the point of his question?
Yep.
Okay.
But okay, I will answer.
Okay.
I will answer. For the first is because the material that I got is canonical sentences, so I look at and searching in some article with the key of canonical. what is canonical and what is non-canonical. Some of articles explain that canonical consists of like affirmative, negative, interrogative, and active voice, and non-canonical also say that it is consists of affirmative, negative, declarative, not declarative, exclamative, passive voice, like this. And for make my material is more understandable and for getting more knowledge, I look and I search in the YouTube what is canonical is it. So is it the answer? Do you get my point or what? Yep.
Yeah, I got your point. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for the answer, Mbak Titis. Next question, who wants to ask question to Mbak Titis?
I ask a question.
Okay, Mbak Elsa,
Okay.
go ahead, please.
Thank you for the great presentation, Mbak Titis.
Mhm.
I want to ask about what the differences about clef and pronoun.
Okay, the differences
Can you
of
hear?
Yep.
She asked you about the differences, yeah? Differences, what's the differences between these two terms, yeah?
The differences between clef and relative pronoun. Actually, when we going to the example clef, for example, it was John who broke the window. It is a simple, and actually it can stand alone. It was John who broke the window. Clef is can stand alone, but in relative pronoun, the sentences can't stand alone. For example, the girl who the father left. When I say like this, because there is no reason. So there is no reason, no result, I mean. So you have to explain more about the result or the next statement. Like the girl who the father left punched the mother. So this is the differences. But clef is, clef can stand alone and relative pronoun can't stand alone.
Okay, but is it conclude that clef means the main clause?
We can conclude that it is, yeah, main
kalimat
clause.
Indo kalimat is if in
main
Indonesia.
Main clause. Clef is main clause, and relative pronoun it subordinate clauses. Subordinate clauses.
Okay, Mbak Elsa, do you get the point of her answer?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Maybe next question.
Enough.
Maybe we will have 2 more questions if it possible.
Enough,
ya?
Bu.
Enough. Okay. Okay, is it enough?
Yeah, I think it's next presentation.
Yep.
Okay, no more question ya.
No
So
more.
it's enough.
Harus 4 question, ya? Benar, Bu.
Maybe my explanation is clear, so anybody want to ask my question, it's just okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I think the session is already done. Give applause to Mbak Titis. Okay, and now we go to the second session. We will have Bu Dewi to present to deliver her topic, which is relative clause and participle. Okay. Are you ready, Bu Dewi?
Insya Allah.
Insya Allah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Start now.
The time is yours. Go ahead, Bu Dewi.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, Bu Nining. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah, good morning to, good morning, good afternoon, yeah, to Mr. Chandra that can join us in this virtual class, yeah. And then good afternoon to my friends, yeah. How are you today? Fine?
Great.
Very good, Bu Dewi.
Yeah. Actually, I'm not good, yeah, because this is this is my presentation, which I don't have any planning before, yeah, but I will try it. Okay, let me show the screen, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, have you seen my pictures, my screen?
Yep,
Yes, we
so
have.
cute.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Welcome to my class, yeah, Advanced Academic Grammar by Mr. Chandra. Yeah, thank you for the time. Actually, today I will try to explain about the material of relative clauses and participles. Yeah, for the first, we will study about relative clause. Yeah, I think you have known what is relative clause. This is my last material when I do for my research, yeah, in bachelor degree, relative clause. Yeah, relative clauses are clauses that modifies a noun or non-phrase and uses some grammatical device to indicate that one of the arguments in the relative clauses refers to noun or non-phrase. Yeah. Do you know how many sentences in the relative clause actually? Before the sentence named a relative clause, how many sentences actually to be a relative clause? How many? Yeah,
Forget.
actually, there are two sentences. Yeah, there are two sentences. In Indonesia, maybe we can call induk kalimat and anak kalimat. Yeah, when those two sentences are combined, it can be combined by relative clauses. Yeah. Next, what are the types of relative clauses? Yeah, there are two types of relative clauses. The first is defining relative clauses and non-defining relative clauses. We will study for the first, defining relative clauses. Yeah, defining relative clauses used to describe the preceding noun in such a way to distinguish it from other nouns of the same class. Yeah, you may see the table. Yeah, for defining relative clauses, there are two parts for people and for things. In every part has three items. Yeah, subject and then possessive. Yeah, for people in a subject position, we can use clauses who and that. And for the object, we can use clauses whom, who, or that. And for possessive, we can use whose. Yeah. And then for the things, different with the people. Yeah. For people, for the subject, we use which and that. And then for the object, same with the subject, we use which and that. And then for the possessive, we use whose of which. Yeah. Next, I will explain the first. Yeah, for subject, use who or that. For example, the man who robbed you has been arrested. Yeah, from the first sentences, the man who robbed you has been arrested. can you analyze what is the actual sentences before make to be relative clause, this relative clause? Can you? Bu Nining, can you give me the example and the explanation?
The man who robbed has arrested.
The
Right.
man who robbed has arrested. Ayo, there are two sentences mainly, yeah. Ayo, what is the first sentence?
The Indo kalimat, the
Yeah.
main clauses.
Yeah, the main clauses. Do you know? The subject is the man.
Man.
The
Yeah,
man
the
who
man.
Has been arrested. The man has been arrested. That's the
Yeah.
main clause.
The man robbed you. Yeah. And then the second sentence is the man has been arrested. Yeah. The man robbed you and the man has been arrested. Yeah. Because there are same subjects, so we can use relative clause to combine those two sentences. Yeah. It can be combined by the man who robbed you has been arrested. Yeah. That's, and then the second, the girl who served in the shop are the owner's daughters. Yeah, it comes from two sentences. Can you analyze, Habib?
Yeah, the first one is the girl who served in the shop, it analyze her services.
Yeah.
And second one, it's the daughter of the owner. So the
Yeah.
owner's daughter. Yeah, these are
Yeah,
the
the
second.
girl. Yeah, the girl serve in the shop. Okay, itu that's the first ya. And then the second, the girl is harusnya ya, is the owner's daughters. Yeah, okay, that's the two sentences ya, which combine to be relative clause. Might be the girl who serve in the shop are the owner's daughter. And then there is a possible alternative of after all, everyone, everybody, no one, nobody, and those. Yeah. For example, everyone who or that knew him liked him. Yeah. Or nobody who or that watched the match will ever forget it. Yeah. That's for the position of subject for people. Yeah. And then for the second position is object of a verb, yeah. Use whom, who, or that. The object form is whom, but it is considered very formal. In spoken English, we normally use who or that, and it is still more common to omit the object pronoun together. Yeah. For example, the man whom I saw told me to come back. Yeah. Can you analyze these sentences? Main clause and Indo kalimat and apa? Anak kalimat. Mbak Eka, can you? I can't see you ya. What is the differences between the position in subject and object? For the position of subject, there are two subject which same, yeah. And for the object, also, it is replaced for the first object, yeah. Bu Nining, can you get my point?
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually, yeah, it's actually from the sentence.
Ibu Nining is the master of English. Yeah.
Moderator should not be asked. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
actually from the man.
The man, I think in positive sentence, I saw the man.
Yeah, I saw the
So
man.
the
okay.
man mean the object of the sentence. So we use relative pronoun whom.
I think whom. I
Whom.
think the whom. Yeah.
No,
Whom.
whom.
Whom,
No,
yes.
whom in here clauses, yeah, relative clauses, yeah, Habib,
Yes.
to combine the two sentences, yeah. The first sentence is the man.
Yes, I know, you are right.
Yeah,
The main
yeah.
whom. The whom is the the word which joins the two sentences.
Yeah.
Like the relative clause.
Yeah, the man apa Bu Nining? Continue Bu, tuh Bu tadi gimana?
You're supposed to be explained. Okay. Why we use relative pronoun whom? Because it It's passive voice, yeah. The passive
Yeah.
voice. The man here is the object of the sentence. I
Yeah.
saw the man.
Yeah, I saw the man. Okay.
Yeah. So why we use whom? Because it explained about the object, the man.
Yeah, I will give the explanation. Yeah, the man whom I saw told me to come back. It's actually from the sentence, the man told me to come back. That's the first sentence. And then the second, I saw him. Yeah, because this is the position of object, so we use whom, yeah, to combine those two sentences. It can be combined to be the man whom I saw told me to come back. Him in here replaced by whom. Do you understand?
What is the main clause? So what is the main sentence of this sentence?
Yeah, the main sentence in this sentence, I think the man told me to come back.
Okay.
And then for the
you.
second sentence, I saw him. Yeah, whom I saw. Yeah, whom I saw. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, that's the point. And then the second example, the man who I saw told me to come back, or maybe we can omit the object pronoun, yeah, to be the man I me to come back. Yeah. Next, the third is object with a preposition, yeah, whom or that. In formal English, the preposition is placed before the relative pronoun, which must then be put into form whom. For example, does he know the girl to whom John is talking? Yeah, to whom? Yeah, the preposition is before the relative pronoun. Yeah, before whom. And then for the second sentence, he liked the man with whom he lived. Yeah, with whom he lived. And then for informal speech, yeah, in informal speech, however, it is more usual to move the preposition to the end of the clauses. Whom then is often replaced by that, but it is still more common to omit the relative altogether. Yeah. For example, does he know the girl that John is talking to? Yeah, you may use that, but you may also omit the relative. Yeah, it can be, does he know the girl John is talking to? Yeah, and then same with the second. Yeah, second sentence. He liked the people that he lived with, or he liked the people he lived with. Yeah. And then for the fourth, yeah, is about possessive. Yeah, possessive means to express about possession, kepemilikan ya in Indonesia. For example, people whose rents have been raised can appeal. Yeah, who's in here express about the position that people have been raised can appeal. And then for the second, the film is about a spy whose wife betrays him. Yeah. And then next, for things. Yeah, for things as a subject. We can see the example. This is the picture which or that caused such a sensation. And then the second, the stairs which or that lead to the cellar are rather slippery. Yeah. Next, for object of a verb, in the position for things, we use which or that or no relative at all. For example, the car which or that I hired broke down. Yeah, and we can omit the relative to be the car I hired broke down. Yeah, which is hardly used after all, everything, little, much, none, no, and compounds of no or after superlatives. Instead, we use that or omit the relative altogether if it is the object of a verb. For example, all the apples that fall are eaten by pigs. Or the second is, this is the best hotel I know, or maybe this is the best hotel that I know. Next, object of preposition. Yeah, same with the position for people. Yeah, object of a preposition. The formal construction is preposition plus which, yeah, but it is more usual to move the preposition to the end of the clause using which or that or by omitting the relative together. You may see the example, yeah. The first, the ladder on which I was standing began to slip, yeah. Yeah. Next, yeah, because there is more material. And for the fourth possessive, we have possessive for things. For example, a house whose walls were made of glass, or a house with glass walls. Yeah. Next, we are going to see the explanation about non-defining relative clauses. What is the differences with defining? In non-defining relative clauses are placed after nouns which are definite already. They are not essential in the sentence and can be omitted without causing confusion. They are separated their nouns by commas. Yeah, the pronoun can never be omitted in a non-defining relative clause. Yeah, this is the table you may see. Yeah, there are two parts for people and for things, and then every part has three items. Yeah, for subject, object, and then possessive. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, for people, yes. Non-defining relative clause for people. The position of subject, we use who. No other pronoun is possible, yeah, not the commas. Yeah, the differences between defining and non-defining. In non-defining, we can see the differences that this sentence use commas. Yeah, for example, my neighbor, who is very pessimistic, says there will be no apples this year. Yeah, there is commas after subject. Yeah, and then after relative pronoun, relative clause. Yeah, and then the second, Peter, whom had been driving all day, suggested stopping at the next stop. Yeah, next, object. Yeah, the position of object, we use whom or who. The pronoun cannot be omitted. Yeah, whom is the correct form. To, who is sometimes used in conversation. Yeah, for example, Peter, whom everyone suspected, turned out to be innocent. Yeah, in here we can omit the relative. Yeah, so we should write the relative whom or who. Next, object of a preposition whom. It is also same, yeah, the pronoun cannot be omitted and the preposition is normally placed before whom. For example, Mr. Jones, for whom I was working, was very generous about overtime payment. It is, however, possible to move the preposition to the end of the clause. This is commonly done in conversation and who then usually takes the place of whom. For example, Mr. Jones, who I was working for, was very generous about overtime payment. Yeah, next position for people, it's use whose. For example, Anne, whose children are at school all day, is trying to get a job. Who's in here express about express that Anne, yeah, the children is the possession of Anne, yeah. And then this is George, whose class will be taking, yeah. Next, for things, position of subject, we use which. That is not used here, yeah. That is not used here. For example, that block, which cost $5 million to build, has been empty for years. And then the 8:15 train, which is usually very punctual, was late today. Yeah. Next, yeah, object with. Still same with before, yeah, that is not used here. And we can never be omitted it. For example, she gave me this jumper, which she had knitted herself. Yeah. And then the second, these books, which you can get at any bookshop, will give you all the information you need. Yeah, for the preposition, it seems same with before. Yeah, the preposition comes before which or more informally at the end of the clauses. Yeah, you may see the example. And the next, yeah, possessive. Yeah, the possessive for things we use whose. It's generally used both animals and things. Yeah. Of which is possible for things, but it is unusual except in very formal English. Yeah. For example, his house, whose windows are all broken, was a depressing sight. And then the second, the car, whose handbrake wasn't very reliable, began to slide backwards. Okay, now we are going to study about what is participle clauses. Yeah. Participle clauses are give more information about a noun. We use the ed or ing form of the verb. Yeah. Participle clauses don't have a subject because their subject is the noun or pronoun in the main clause. Let's see the types of participle clauses. Yeah, there are 4 types, which I have from browsing internet. First is about present participle clauses, and then past participle, perfect participle, and the fourth participle clauses after conjunctions and preposition. Yeah, the first type is present participle clauses. Yeah, present participle clauses have a similar meaning to active verbs. Active verbs. Yeah. There are 5 things, ya, ada 5 hal. The first, to give the result of an action. For example, the bomb exploded, destroying the building. To give the reason for an action. For example, knowing she loves reading, Richard bought her a book. And then, to talk about an action that happened at the same time as another action. Standing in the queue, I realized I didn't have any money. And the last, to add information about the subject of the main clause. For example, starting in the new year, the new policy bans car in the city center. Yeah, that's for the example of present participle clause. And going to second, yeah, past participle clauses. Participle normally have a passive meaning. Yeah. For example, used in this way, participles can make your writing more concise. Yeah. Or maybe we can use if. Yeah. If you use participle in this way, then blah blah blah. And then for the second, to give the reason for an action. Worried by the news, she called the hospital. And then to add information about the subject of the main clause. For example, filled with pride, he walked towards the stage. Yeah. Next, the third types, perfect participle clauses. Perfect participle clauses show that the action they describe was finished before the action in the main clause. Perfect participles can be structured to make an active or passive meaning. Yeah. For example, having got dressed, he slowly went downstairs. Yeah. Or having finished their training, they will be fully qualified doctors. Or having been made redundant, she started looking for a new job. Yeah. And for the last type, yeah. Participle clauses after conjunctions and preposition. It is also common, yeah, for participle clauses, especially with ing to follow conjunction and prepositions such as before, after, instead of, on, since, when, while, and in spite of. Yeah. For example, before cooking, you should wash your hands. Or instead of complaining about it, they should try doing something positive. Third, while packing her things, she thought about last 2 years. And the last example, in spite of having read the instruction twice, I still couldn't understand how to use it. Yeah, okay, that's all about my presentation. Yeah, I hope you understand. Maybe you can understand, yeah, because I explained it too fast. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Bu Dewi, for
Yeah, you're welcome.
for the excellent presentation. So fast. But I hope everyone can get the point of your explanation. Okay, go to next session, question and answer.
Yeah,
maybe
I
we
have
will
to
read
in chat. Yeah.
Yeah, we will read in chat. Yeah, let me read that as a moderator.
Okay.
Okay, the question is from Bu Emel and Bu Asti. For the first question from Bu Emel, Mbak Dewi, are relative clauses a valuable grammar point for student in writing skill? Okay. Are relative clauses a valuable grammar point for student in writing skill? Maybe you can answer the first question first. Or maybe I will read the second. Okay, the second is from Bu Asti. Can you give example the use of preposition for whom and that? I'm interested in formal use. Okay, it's your turn to answer, Bu Dewi.
Yeah, thank you for the question, yeah, from Bu Imelda and Mbak Asti. The first question is from Bu Imelda about relative clause, yeah, valuable. Are relative clauses are valuable grammar points for students in writing skill? Yeah, I think absolutely yes. Yeah, it is needed. It is needed, yeah, for skill. Whether the students also need, yeah, practice some some pattern, yeah, in English to fully understand and then use for integrate their own productive language. Yeah, I think not only for tenses, yeah, simple present, past, but also all the thing of practice in English, yeah, like relative clause or maybe like, but it is material, yeah, canonical or non-canonical, yeah, absolutely. It is important to study, yeah, to be studied for students. And then for the second, I will see, yeah. For the second, yeah, can you give example the use of preposition for whom and that? I'm interested in formal use. Okay, informal, yeah. Okay. Yeah, as I explained before, that the preposition for ini maybe defining, yeah, for defining relative clause, relative clause for defining, yeah, for the position with a preposition whom or that, yeah. Informal, as I said before, that formal English, the preposition is placed before, yeah, before the relative pronoun. And then in informal, the preposition is more usual to move to the end of the clause, yeah. As I show you the sample, I can show you the sample, yeah, example. I have to stop screen here. Yeah, for example, from the sentence informal, yeah, informal, yeah. Does he know the girl to whom John is talking? Yeah. From this sentence, we know that preposition to is written before the relative whom. Yeah. That's for informal. And for the informal, yeah, we can write it with does he know the girl that John is talking to? Yeah, we can place the preposition at the end of the sentence, yeah, or at the end of the relative. Okay, I hope this may answer your question.
Yeah, for Bu Emel and Bu Asti, what about Bu Dewi's answer? Is that satisfied you?
Bu email still on the way.
Yes. Okay. So it means that she already understand, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe for
I
the
hope.
last question from direct question maybe. Is there anyone from you who want to ask to Budewi about relative clause and participle clause? Has anyone? Mbak Ola? Mbak Munisha?
Can I take this?
Okay.
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 Yes.
Actually, I would like to tell about my story when I was in senior high school, and then when I was students in the university. I don't get it. What is the differences? Who and whom? I don't understand about it. So, because your presentation is about relative clauses, can you explain clearly for me about the using of who and whom?
Okay, yeah. Relative clause, yeah. Who and whom. I will back. Yeah, I will back the slide. Yeah. From this slide, yeah, I have told that in the relative clause there are two parts, yeah, that can be expressed or use the clauses, yeah, for people and for things, yeah. All of them are same. All of them are have same position, yeah, as subject, object, and possessive. For subject, you know lah, yeah, you know lah, you know subject, yeah. Subject is, yeah, word standing in front of the sentence, yeah. Who is used for replace the subject in relative clause. Like I said before for the example. Okay, I will give you a sentence, yeah. Yeah, I will give you a sentence. The first sentence is, she is Rina. Yeah. And then the second sentence is, she sits on the chair. There are two sentences with same subject, right? What is the subject? She. Yeah. Yeah. Whether in English we can say or we can write, she is Rina, she sits on the chair, yeah. To avoid replying, yeah, the same subject, so we use whom to make or to combine those two sentences, yeah. It can be combined by relative clause use who. Can you combine it? She is Rina. She sits on the chair. Can you combine with the relative clause with who? Can you? Yeah, what is the subject?
Girl who sit The girl.
Yeah.
It,
No,
it can be the
we
girl.
use she. We use she. See, there are the
She.
same subject. She. Yeah. She is Rina. And then the second sentence, she sits on the chair. Yeah. So she. And then, can you combine?
Who?
Yeah. She who. What?
Who sit
She who sit on the
Yeah.
chair
on the
is
chair
Yeah.
is
Rina.
Rina.
Yeah, she who sits on the chair is Rina. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
I get, actually I get about the subject who, but I'm still confused. The using of whom.
Okay,
Actually,
whom?
the
Yeah.
using of whom. Yeah.
From the tabel, you can see where is the position of whom? Subject, object, or possessive? In object, right?
Object.
Yeah. Okay. In here, same with who. Yeah. If who, we use who for combined the same for combined two sentences which has same subject. Yeah. And then for whom, we combine the two sentences which has apa ya, to replace the object of the first sentence. Okay, I will write the sentences. Yeah, I will write the example. Yeah, the first sentence is she is Rina. Yeah, she is Rina. The second sentence is I know her much. Yeah, there are two sentences, right? Are those sentences subject? No, actually no, because the first sentence is she is Rina, and then the second sentence is I know her much. Yeah, they have different subject, she and I, but in the second sentences, the subject she replaced by her. Yeah, I know her much. So in this case, we can use whom to combine those sentences. Yeah, can you combine these sentences using whom?
I forget about the
Yeah.
sentences.
She is Rina. Yeah.
It's Rina.
Yeah, I know her much. Yeah. How do you combine it with relative clauses whom? She is
See,
Rina. She.
see whom.
Yeah. She who.
What? I forget.
I know her much. Yeah.
See whom.
I.
See whom I know.
Yeah.
Her much.
Yeah.
Is.
No, the her is omitted. Yeah, because we have replaced it to whom. Yeah. So she whom I know
is
much.
Rina.
Yeah. She whom I know much. Yeah. Is Rina. Yeah. That's the point. Yeah. In here, whom replaced of her. Yeah. Do you clear?
Yeah.
Can you get my point?
Yeah.
Okay.
More clear brain. I get more clear brain for understanding about the differences, the using of who and whom. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mbak Titis. I think enough. Good evening.
Okay, now. Okay, I think that's enough, yeah, for today. From both of the presentation, maybe I can conclude that the two topic have a correlation, yeah, since Mbak Titis explained about canonical and non-canonical, yeah, as explained by Mbak Titis that relative clauses is part of non-canonical sentence, yeah. Actually, maybe we have studied both of this topic, yeah, with different term. But from this presentation, we got new insight about canonical and non-canonical, and also relative clauses and participle clauses. For me myself, it's a new term about canonical and non-canonical, yeah, and also participle clauses. But actually we have learned before, yeah, with different term, yeah, maybe what we've got from the school, or maybe when we were in a bachelor degree. But after all, thank you very much for both presenters. Before we close, maybe we give applause to Bu Dewi and Mbak Titis. Okay.
Alhamdulillah, finish.
Alhamdulillah. Lega.
Long.
Okay, thank you very much once more for the presenter and for the audience for attending this session. Maybe for the next presenter will be Bu Asti and Bu Emel, ya. Ready ya Bu Asti sama Bu Emel?
Ya, harus ready.
Harus ready. Okay,